Oh, sorry. Hey there, Red Hawks. I'm Uriah, and this is
Paige.
And we are on an LMC journey.
We are at the Todd Center, which is our main campus in Benton Harbor, home of our academic programs, which include business,
Education.
and information technology. And now we're gonna go outside. Alright, we are here with Kyle, and we're also in the Todd Center on our main campus in Benton Harbor, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the programs and what we offer in this building.
I can totally do those things for you. So the Todd Center is a really neat building because this is where you'll have all of your accounting classes, your business classes, your CIS, your GIS classes, any of your IT stuff. So it's a cool place. Let's walk around and I'll kind of show you where everything is, okay? Since we're in a different building from the rest of campus, one of the things that we really pushed for at the beginning of this year was having a place where students could hang out and eat and not have to walk all the way over to the main building, right? So if you come in here, we've got this really cool kind of grab and go station, and all of this runs on like a fingerprint scanner, right? So any of the food that you want to eat, you would just grab something, scan it, and then you can use your fingerprint to buy it. And I just bought a granola bar, so here's a granola bar if you're hungry, right? But this is a really neat space just to hang out, get some work done. There's some computers here for you to use. Here's where all of the reception staff offices are. So if you want to talk to our dean, Ken Flowers, or Jenny, who knows pretty much everything that goes on in this building, you would go in there. But this is also where you would go if you wanted to talk to somebody that works for the foundation, or stuff like that. There's also finance people that work in this building. So it's really kind of a eclectic mix of a lot of folks that do stuff in Todd. That's my lab over there, but we can visit that later. So when you get up here to the second floor, I think this is just a really pretty space. There's a lot of windows, a lot of lighting. This room over here is super cool for gathering and working as students. These desks, if you flip open the top, they've all got computers in them. So on our way down to Sean's networking lab, we can hop in Jay Keeler's App Dev lab. There are, in the Todd Center, 3 IT labs that are open for student use. So all of these computers that are in here are all set up for student use for anything that you need for any of your classes. Now these computers are high power units that are used for things like programming and app development and web development, geospatial kinds of studies, things like that. But they're also just open for anything that you need. This is also where you would come if you're gonna do like drone piloting or GIS, because that's super cool. Look at this big intimidating guy right here, right? So a drone like this is something like a $13,000 unit. This is a really expensive piece of equipment. And what's cool about it specifically is the camera. And the camera that's on this drone allows you to get really, really intense information about like soil qualities and things like that. So you can fly over like a vineyard or a farm, and then you can use those images you get from the specialized camera to determine things about the soil richness or soil quality, and then inform them about where they should grow what, where, and what needs servicing and that sort of thing. There's a lot of things you can do with drones. It's not just like taking cool pictures and videos, although that's pretty awesome. It's also good for law enforcement and real estate and agriculture. There's a lot of different industries that use drone piloting and geospatial stuff. So if we pop back out into the hallway and we go down to the next room, that's where Sean's networking lab is. When you're in the networking program, and really just in IT in general as a career, you gotta know how computers work, right? And part of that is on a hardware level, being able to tear them apart and not be scared whether they'll work when you get them back together. This is the second of the 3 IT labs we have in this building. And today, this is the kind of activity they're doing. But we actually have all of the hardware that you would need in order to study networking as a career pathway. We have all the routers, switches, cabling, and equipment that you would need.
So we have about $250,000 worth of servers, switches, as well as routers in this room that students would use, that's actually used out in regular commercial business. So the Whirlpools, the Lakelands, they have the same equipment at their place.
So let's head on into Todd 1405. And first I'll kind of explain how VR works, and then I'll kind of get you into a couple experiences and show you some things. So this is Spencer. Everybody say hi, Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
So Spencer is playing a game called Beat Saber, and a couple months ago I went to a conference in San Francisco that was all about VR. And all of the developers there were talking about this game and saying how it was like a breakout VR experience. So if you're familiar with maybe Dance Dance Revolution, right? This is essentially that with lightsabers. Okay? So what's going on here is there's music playing in the background, and there's blocks that are flying at Spencer. And he has to slash the blocks with the right color saber in the right direction, the arrow points, on the beat with the music.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's totally not bad at this game, right? But let me show you what I think is kind of a showcase example for VR in terms of academics, and this is like an anatomy experience. So a lot of times in like a biology class or anatomy class, you would have essentially like a big model, right? And on that model, you'd have all these muscles and organs and things like that, and you could take those out of the body to then get that experience and see where things are, right? Well, those models are expensive, it takes up a lot of space in the room, and you might need 10 different ones for everybody to see, right? But what if we could virtualize that whole process and in VR let you tear apart a body, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put you in that experience. This experience is really, really powerful. So up at the top of your view, look at that white screen. Yep. Up at the top, all of those icons are different systems of the body. So point up top. There you go. You've got muscles, skeleton, the heart, any of those. So maybe just select muscular. So point where it says muscular and pull the trigger. Yep, there you go. And now these are all examples of muscular structures in the body that can be represented in this model, right? So select that muscular system in the top left.
That's right.
There you go. And turn around.
Oh my god.
Okay. So you can point at any of those places and it'll tell you what they are, right? But what I want you to do is reach out and with the trigger on a controller, squeeze the trigger and pull a muscle away.
Ah!
There you go. And if you look at that screen just to your left, to your right, there you go. That describes that muscle for you. You can walk around the model. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So in VR, your movement is represented as if you were really there. And these sensors are high quality enough that, are you feeling nauseous or weird or anything like that? No.
So cool.
Yeah. So any of that stuff you can pull out. What I want you to do is look at your hands, because one of your hands is a brush and one of your hands is the pad for you working with. So your right hand right now is your palette, and your left hand you would want to select with the trigger where it says new sketch. Cool. So now it's going to wipe your environment clean and it's going to let you paint whatever you want in VR, okay? So on your right hand, use your thumb and you can swipe. Yep. So pick a brush. You can paint with stars or rainbows or fire, whatever you want. And if you want, those two arrows, the left and right arrows, give you more brush options. Smoke. Okay, now swipe the pad to the next page. Next one. There you go. Nope. Colors. Yep. Pick any color you want your smoke to be. Cool. So using this hand, pull the trigger and paint smoke in the air. Ooh. now that you've created something, you can move around that creation however you want. Cool, right?
Yes, okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what?
Now in Beat Saber, there's lots of songs, and you can actually upload like any song you want, right? But here, we're just gonna do one of the pre-made ones. So I don't really know what your jam is, but pick these different songs, and it'll give you a preview of what it sounds like. So go ahead and go through them and find one that you kind of like how it sounds.
Ah, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. I'm really about to be in it.
You gotta go the direction that the
I didn't
direction
see
the arrow's
that.
pointing. Yep.
Ah, bro. Hey. Ha This is lit! Whew. I'm tired though.
Oh gosh. I was gonna run into a wall. That's so scary.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That's so much fun. Thank you, Kyle. We had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video.
And as always, like, comment, and subscribe right down below. And if you have any questions, leave them there. And as always, don't forget to use that hashtag LMC Journey. We're out.